my little intro spiel.
Should I be wearing I'm wondering if I should wear my antlers. Yeah, they're cute. I don't care.
Yeah, I think you should be.
Maybe you can do both.
Is this Gucci or what are you wearing? Gucci?
This was, oh goodness, what's her name? She made them. She put them on the store. I absolutely love the little antlers. I just thought they were so cute. She did such a good job.
Alrighty, folks. Oh, we still have a minute to
Kitty
go.
cat.
Yes,
I know, right?
I've only do that for 2 weeks.
She stapled it to her shoulder. It's not going to move.
QB, be careful with your arms. Ah, yeah,
Yeah?
okay. Sometimes
What happened?
no, you had them one folded in. Now it's perfect. Sometimes they fold a little bit when you just.
When I cross my arms in real life.
Hey, that looks good. Yeah, are you cold?
I have no
Cold,
idea
QB?
what it looks like. Pardon me?
It looks very cool, yes.
Okay, we're going live in a bit.
I have no idea what it looks like.
QB, if you have touch controllers, you can press one of the buttons and then you can see yourself in third person from behind.
Oh, right. Okay.
Try that.
That's kind of interesting. That's
Or hit F3 to see yourself.
yeah, I got it.
But in VR, I think really they should bring this back. Okay, introduction. We're live on the YouTubes of the world. Hello there, and welcome to Atlas Hopping. Unbelievable. We have someone here, and his name is what's your name?
Depends on who you're talking about.
I'm talking about you.
It talks about
Only
you.
you. The others I don't care.
Me. Okay. I'm QB.
This is QB Terra.
This is the Queen Wave. Hello. Hello.
QB, since you're new here, what do you think of this whole thing? And we had interactions. You were bemoaning the fact that we can't sit. But you still came back.
It would be really nice to sit down, like maybe on the porch steps, just sit down, hang out. Even if I sit down in a real chair in real life, I'd have to height adjust my head, and it just doesn't work out. But I hope they add that sometime soon, right?
Oh my God, QB, you look so. I say this almost every week, but I have the cameras on you right now, and just your interaction with the arms and how you were making sort of the visual cues and.
Yeah, it's fun.
All
I
right.
should have put my VR on. I wasn't thinking this time. You can do it both ways, VR or desktop, and it just varies which one.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about with Galen. So we're here with Jasmine and with Galen, and here's Ricardo's. Ricardo, how are you doing?
For the time, it's fine.
Are you annoyed by things in Sansar and stuff that's not working? Or
it's fine for now.
Okay, I don't want to probe any further.
Because I have a can of paint in my hand.
Yeah.
Probing in a G-rated
No. He looks very dangerous. He might throw this can at me.
Here, I'll catch.
I hope it's not working for me.
Oh!
Missed it.
There you go. This
Okay,
is
here we
actually
go.
Sansar Red. It's really good paint.
Oh, I'm sorry I dinged your windshield there.
Oh! So today
That's no
we're gonna visit an experience that was made by Jasmine and Galen. It's called Minor Difficulties, and you can set it up in a second. I just wanted to announce real quick that we have interiors coming for the Harvest houses that you see here. So of course I live in the basement over here. But very soon we will have interiors for all these houses, and if anybody who is watching now or later wants to move in, just let me know. It's on a first come first served basis, and it's along the sort of long-term goal to kind of try to make this a community with regular events, or as Galen put it earlier, basically the version of Cheers, where there's nothing else to do, just to stand around.
Exactly.
Can I throw the furniture outside the house?
Yes, you could do it. That's right.
Good.
So, in other words, the future of VR, which is basically just a 3D chat room where we stand around and talk about stuff. But no, Jasmine, you guys built something that is more than standing around and talking. Can you set it up before we go there so that we know a little bit about what it is about? Jasmine
I don't
lost
know
her
what you
voice.
need to set up, but
I've never been there. I want to know what we're supposed to be doing, and then we're gonna do it.
So it's we created it partly for the Halloween competition, but it was also because it's part of an overarching story that I have going, and I don't want to go too much into that. But the premise being that it's linked to the Dreamland kind of thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyway, so the idea. And I'm not as good without a script of talking about things like this, but
It's just us. It's cheers. Can you whistle again, please, Galen? It's just you're among friends here. We're
Jasmine!
I know, right? So
I need a bottle of Drax Brew next time when we start it. They're all down in the basement.
So I can't decide what I should tell that won't blow what it is.
Okay, then don't.
Golly Keepers. I know. It's like
Don't leave it a mystery.
But the main thing
Sorry.
is it's interactive storytelling.
It's
and,
interactive. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I think that's the main innovation, really. I mean, just like we were talking about on the podcast, I actually think that that virtual reality, and that includes Second Life too, older technologies, really have a lot of potential for this sort of middle ground between extreme interactive gaming and no interactive cheers, sitting around chatting. And this middle ground is occupied in part by interactive storytelling, and there's a lot of potential there.
I would also contend again. I mean, we just came off taping the podcast for tomorrow. Published that sitting around or standing around, for that matter, and having good conversations is extremely interactive. And I enjoy that, and that's why I built this. It's more fun than. But anyway, I completely get your point. So let's hop over. We got one more person coming. Is it Stella?
Hi,
No, it's
Dama.
Dama. Dama, come
More
on
reindeer
over.
horns.
And I
Right.
think we have one more person coming too.
Dama Fairport is over here. Oh, is somebody else coming?
Hello.
Howdy!
Are you waiting for someone, Galen, too?
Actually, I guess I should ask Philina, is that also Dama?
Gemma. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the same. The other thing I was going to say is that the Jasmine kind of comes at Sansar here from a somewhat different perspective from a lot of other people, in that she kind of started out more as a storyteller than as an artist per se.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do mostly some clothes in Second Life, but when I saw this platform, I thought, oh my gosh, this is where I can do like really cool stories and make a whole world. So that's what I'm doing, but I'm starting with the smaller pieces of this bigger thing that I've started building, and hopefully it'll finish in a month or two.
Ah, that's awesome.
that's
Okay.
fast.
A year or two, yeah.
Or a year,
Oops,
maybe
I'm sorry,
3
the viewers.
years. I'm not sure.
That's awesome.
You're never done.
Let's hop up. Let's hop over there, and this is going to be a shorter show because Strawberry is not with us. She's still taking some time off. There's some personal stuff going on, but it's all good. It's not disastrous. She just needs some time, and we're gonna check out Dama's experience as well, and we're going to minor difficulties now. But let me also say that, folks, check out Mad P in Second Life and the stuff that they did in interactive storytelling.
Who's
Is somebody vacuuming?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Galen
I
is
think I had
vacuuming.
my microphone open.
All right, so I'm looking in the atlas. I'm typing in minor.
Okay, if you look in, if you look in the chat, you should see I've pasted it there. I will warn you guys, the first thing you'll see will be a video. It starts for each of us subjectively when we arrive, so we're going to see it at different times.
And then when it's over, then we can kind of collaborate. Can we for the mystery
Well,
to solve it?
what happens is once that video is over, you'll just walk towards. You'll see a campground lantern. You just step on the key that's next to it. But I just wanted to note that we'll all have a subjective experience of when the video starts and ends.
Okay, let's go over there. I'm already scared. Minor difficulties. And here we go. And folks on YouTube, if you like, please identify yourself. If you're curious what game this is, it's not a game. Here we are. Minor difficulties.
Oh, nice. I'm dropped on the edge of the table.
Oh crap! It's dark. Ah!
Now I need to do something stupid.
Whoa!
How do I go fix this? So.
Okay, where are we?
Are you watching the video?
It's 7:21 p.m.
Oh, there it is.
It's the first time I see the video. I think, oh no.
We finally got the tent up and settled in. Ava really needed this break after her big break. Cannot seem to get good signal here. Should be back tomorrow afternoon. Great. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Did you feed the dog before you left? Or did I pop over? Oops, that was fast. Wish you could have come with us. Maybe next time. Not sure you will get this message. Cannot seem to get a call to work.
It's also on the phone, if you ever miss it. It's also on the phone.
No, he's stepping on the phone.
Yes, to read it.
Ricardo, you're
I
stepping on
cannot take it.
Oh! Ricardo's is already dead. We have one casualty.
Okay.
This is why I had the little teleporter from the ground.
Please
that brings
text
you
back.
up.
Ava's missing. I cannot find her. Ooh.
All this scary horror
Oh, this is gonna be scary.
I cannot get Alva to answer. Got disturbing message earlier. A bunch of us are going to drive to the campsite and see.
Oh no.
We finally got. Okay, now it's starting here on the phone. Okay, now we have to go on the key, Galen.
Yep. So everybody
Find the light and teleport to the next scene. But where's the light?
Your
Find
light,
the
you
light.
need to take it to the camp scene.
So the key is right in front of me.
Okay,
And
where's the light?
That is the light.
Oh, that's
See
the light.
large lantern?
The
Oh, okay.
lantern? Yeah, you need to grab your lantern.
Where do you grab your lantern?
Well, you walk into the lantern.
Yeah.
See? Oh my God, we're like the worst beta testers. Like
So no, maybe I should put a little spinny thing over top saying, "Come here, please."
No, I think it's good. I kind of assumed because everything was flashlight stuff that I had to kind of pick up a flashlight. No, but this is good. This is good. So okay, so we're
Okay,
walking.
so now we're just gonna walk.
Ah. Minor difficulties part 2. Then it loads the next experience. I hope that Ricardo's will be able to follow us. He fell off the table. Hey. As this is loading, folks on YouTube, I hope you don't get sick when I'm in VR. I am going to switch between desktop and VR. So this is interesting still because when we're going into a completely different experience, and obviously in this beta phase we still have a little bit of a loading time, as you can see. Which for an immersive game is not ideal, to say the least. But the time is the amount of time it takes is decreasing quite substantially. So I do see a
Here's Drax.
Yay, there's Drax.
There's Drax.
Ah, so do I have a light?
You do.
Should
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay.
We should let Drax run in front of us so he dies
Okay,
first.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay,
good
Drax,
idea.
go ahead.
There's the bird.
Follow the birdie.
Where's the birdie? Oh, there.
Oh.
So I don't know if you recognize or not, but this is the same tent that we
Wait,
saw.
how did you get that bird to fly?
That was fun.
Galen's magic.
Galen, you are magic. You have to show me how you did that. I want birdies.
This is quite a collaboration. It's unique. Nobody else has anything like it, but quite a collaboration between me and Jasmine.
Wow.
She made
Nice.
all the different models for the bird and
Okay.
animated them.
Wow, this
Dax,
bird is great.
That bird is fantastic.
Yep.
Ricardo,
Where's
did
he
you
going?
you fell down?
Oh, there's.
Yeah, Ricardo's is with us. Good.
Uh-oh. Where
What?
you going, Drax? Down there.
There's
down
something
there.
ghostly
What is
down
that? Dax.
Huh, where?
That's spooky.
Down there.
Oh my God.
I want
Uh-oh.
to see how it gets.
Wait. I need to. Oh my God.
Shit!
It's a ghost.
In VR, this is awesome.
Sometimes you
Whoa.
gotta do things you don't wanna. But it smells really funny today. And my little bird, she's acting kind of weird.
Whoa.
Whoa is right.
That's cool.
That's freaking creepy.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Follow me.
I don't know if I want to follow you.
Whoa, this is
This is like
great.
the dinner
Oh
for
my
everybody
God.
sitting
Oh
around
my
eating, and
gosh.
you guys are all enjoying the meal.
Oh,
Come on,
crap.
Drax. It's only a dark tunnel.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this.
completely normal here. This is just a spine. This is completely
Yeah,
normal.
okay.
Are you guys still with
I
me?
don't know about you, but I'm kind of
Yes.
freaked. You've been in here a million times. I'm already freaked out.
Seeing we haven't died yet. Much.
Much. Oh, thanks. This is awesome.
Wow, I'm totally
Come this
speechless.
way.
I know, right? Are people on YouTube seeing this? Because if so, this is like.
This mine shaft is.
Well, of course, Ricardo's, I have
This
to
is-
say one disclaimer. This is very cool, but Ricardo's, both of us are very biased. I think the well still holds up quite a bit, if you know what I mean, viewers.
I
watched
don't
a little of
know.
your video on
No.
it was interesting.
I think this is beating the well.
Oh my gosh. This is
Ooh.
awesome.
This is a maze.
I
I still
know.
like this
Where
more.
half the party splits up and one half gets slaughtered.
No, we gotta follow the
No,
ghost. Are you
we're
guys
staying
stupid?
together. No.
Here, I'll go off by myself.
No.
No, Galen, don't go.
Galen, don't go. Stay here. Okay, if this is gonna scare me, then my poor neighbors.
I just have this picture of you running out of the house with the head-mounted display still attached to your face.
Keeps me company,
People dangling
and she
behind.
finds me new friends, like
I'm
you.
telling you. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm getting situated in my. Uh-oh. She's telling us to go that way. Drax, I don't want to go.
She looks sweet and innocent, right?
Yeah, no. Uh-oh. She's stopping. That's not
Others,
good.
they aren't very nice.
She's saying about somebody's not very nice. Is she talking about me?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm terrified right now.
We built in a judgmental feature to it, so.
Obviously. Oh my gosh.
It gets louder. Oh my
This
God.
is not good, Drax.
Oh, see, this is where you don't have a
This
you don't
sound
have
is
a
for me new, I
mediated experience anymore because you're
Oh look, she keeps coming back.
Really dark in here.
yeah. I know.
It is really dark in here, you're
Wow.
right.
Here's the part where
But she's got a healthy glow.
She's a brain surgeon.
Okay, I'm staying with you guys.
Wait, where's Kelvin? Is Kelvin with us today? Kelvin
I
crashed
haven't
earlier.
seen Calvin.
Oh, he crashed.
Go on
I,
ahead.
look, you two already look creepy. I'm not trusting you.
Being
Okay,
here by
Kel-
myself.
What?
Okay.
What is
She
she
doesn't
doing?
like being here, but she says, I don't like being here by myself.
Well, that's why we're here.
That's why we're
I
here.
think Drex don't like it too.
Don't worry. I don't like to be here either. We're on the
That's what
same
I'm saying.
page. We're on the same page.
Where are you guys?
Oh,
I'm staying
shit.
back with you.
Oops. Oh, something went crash.
What?
Uh-oh.
What
I
happened?
heard a rock fall.
You
I
did?
heard a rock.
Okay, I let QB go in front of me.
Yeah, you can
No,
risk my
QB, you
life.
go. You go. Shit. I heard something.
Drex, move.
Wait, QB needs to go forward. Go. This way.
Okay,
all good.
Drax, you can go
Where'd
that
she
way.
go,
and I'll
Drax?
go-
There she is.
So, go ahead, go that way. I'll go.
Okay, I'll go.
You guys
Oh,
did an
there's,
amazing job with this. This is beautiful.
Thank you. It's mostly Jasmine's work.
Yeah, this is,
Ricardo's
this,
show
is,
where you
this is so immersive. It's crazy.
Okay, I want to encourage everybody, since there's a big party here, to bump your cameras forward once we all get to the front.
You won't go
It's
away, and
hard
your
to see
light
from
will
back here.
stay on, and you'll be right here
Oh.
with me. And
Oh,
no
no.
more being by myself.
Uh-oh.
She said the others, their lights went out. Well, you know,
Oh no! If our lights
she
go
wanted
out,
us
I'm
to
gonna
stay
freak.
with her.
It totally lures you here into the
You're
same
thinking
fate.
about
But
it.
she's
We'll
gone.
be fine.
Do you see the skeletons?
Yeah,
There's her skeleton at the back. Do you see the
Yeah,
skeleton?
yeah,
at
right
the
there.
back?
that's her.
That's
That's her. And
that's
you're
her.
the next little body to land
Okay,
here
I am
later.
so staying back here.
Come on up. Come on, get
disappeared.
close. Check it out.
Come on,
No,
Drex,
he
move.
just disappeared.
Ah! Ah. Shit.
No. Don't leave me in the dark by myself. Please, wake up, please.
I don't want to
Ooh.
look. I don't want to look. I don't want to look.
Leave me, please. Don't leave me in the dark again by myself. I don't want to be here by myself.
What the heck?
wow.
Somebody's crying.
Please,
Yeah, she is.
please.
Oh, there's more.
And there goes the light.
Oh my gosh, our lights are gone.
Where are we? Are we in the netherworld? Are we even alive
We're-
still?
You
Behind you, Drax.
I think we're dead.
One of these days, you're gonna wake up dead.
Uh-oh, something's gonna happen here, and it's gonna scare me.
So this little girl actually is a ghost that haunts that coal mine. She
Yeah.
actually worked in the coal mine and died in the coal mine in a gas leak. And
Oh,
she's
wow.
by herself in the dark. And so when people camp near the coal mine, she lures them while they're asleep into the coal mine where they also die. But she gets them to bring their light so she doesn't have to be in the dark by herself. But the thing is, she doesn't know that when she does that, she kills you too.
So when you're
Because you're
Drax.
suffocate.
You
Right,
suffocate. You
from
breathe the same
gases.
gas as she did. But she doesn't know that's what she's doing. She just wants to be not by herself in the dark. So
when you're
It's
when you're
not-
done with the
she's a-
video tracks, I'm gonna suggest that we go back to the campsite and we can keep talking there.
This is really wonderful. This is pushing the envelope of what's possible already in Sansar.
Absolutely.
So I made up the characters based on children that worked in the mines in Appalachia and also in the UK that actually did work in the mines as trappers, actually did die in the mines. And so I wanted to draw light to the fact that so many children in the Industrial Revolution and informing all the major countries now today even lose their lives, giving
You know
us the
what?
life we have.
I have one idea.
Wake up, please.
At the very end, what I think you should do is to be in a place with her where she tells that story. You're sitting, you're dead, but
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Right? You
Yeah,
could be
that is a
sitting-
great idea.
like a very cliche visual would be like you're sitting on a cloud or something, like where it's clear that you're dead and she's sitting next to you and she's saying like, see
What
I'm
happened,
sorry,
yeah.
but at least you're with me now and we can
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that puts a very positive twist on it. I like the dark ending where you just die. You know?
Yeah.
But otherwise, right? But
Okay,
otherwise,
can we just walk through that?
I wouldn't know the story behind that. So
well,
you
it's
just
on my website. I have a website that links to all this, so that this backstories.
Right, but
these are experience. I see what you're saying, but yeah, I need to figure out a way to tell you. Yeah, right. You're exactly. Yeah, figure out a way
Yeah,
to.
you keep the same character, and you go to the third experience, and then you're sitting there with the little girl, and the little girl.
And she's telling you
Yeah.
what happened to her.
Yeah, I think.
Or maybe bring her back to another experience with the campfire, and then she's sitting at the campfire in that experience, telling you the story.
Well, keep in mind we had a limited amount of time.
No, this is.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Galen,
this is
don't
amazing,
misunderstand me.
Galen.
This
This
is
is
especially
like,
because
wow.
you're working towards
Teleported
the
to the
deadline.
beginning, then
It's
I-
absolutely
yeah.
wonderful, and it opens the possibilities to see what can be done within the limitations that we
mineshaft is
still have
more
on the
fun
platform.
if it's
That's
dark.
really great.
I did jump.
This
in
is
front of
mind-blowing.
Oh, I see.
It puts my
wonderful.
elevator to shame.
It takes some time to teleport.
So just
So, just to make it a little easier to talk, because I know the video is a little bit loud.
Yeah, it's a little bit
I
loud.
suggest we go to the campsite.
yeah.
Sure,
I don't
it's
hear
actually
the
not
video.
bad.
And since I'm in my critical mode, okay. That goes quick because we have it.
There we go. Sorry, I figured it'd just be a little bit more conducive for conversation.
Yeah, this
there's
is almost like
campfire.
Cheers.
Yeah.
From one Cheers to the next.
There!
Yeah, no, Galen, you guys did amazing. This is absolutely beautiful. It really is.
I used to
It's-
do
it's
I
so
used-
Yeah, thank you very much. And
The bird blows me away. I gotta go see this bird, man.
I just did
I'm gonna tell you, I-
mineshaft in the dark. That's just more fun.
This was a bit of hubris on my part, I think, but I kind of took for granted until near the end of the competition that we had a good chance of winning. But one of the things that I discovered, and I think this is an insight for other builders too, one of the things that I discovered is that when we looked at the feedback from at least one of the judges, but also from others too, it really seems like the main emphasis for the judges was on sort of gut feel reaction. They didn't necessarily know what was truly innovative, and that's okay. It's not their job to know what's really innovative. So, I mean, to that end, I have to give Cerberus a lot of credit for making the winning experience that was very beautiful and actually was interactive too. But I do think that interactivity was a given. Interactivity and beauty.
Yeah, I think from all the experiences that I've seen so far, from a storytelling aspect and an interactive standpoint, this wins it. I mean, that bird
Thank you.
alone. I mean, because and we've been in I've been in Sansar for almost a year now, so I know that is cutting edge in Sansar. I mean that's almost bleeding edge in Sansar, to be quite
I also
honest. To
think
have
the girl-
that
the
bird,
fact-
that interactivity.
But the fact that the girl waits for you and then talks to you, that's
Yeah.
really where what we've been discussing, Galen, on the podcast is where we need to go. And again, I go back to Matt P, because I want us to not forget that in Second Life you can do also a lot of the stuff. Of course,
definitely.
sans the headset. Dama, we're
But
gonna
not
check
so
out.
smooth.
Well, Ricardo's. Yes, let's not get into the minutia. We just got out of an hour podcast, which is the better platform and who will win, and if.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
And we resolved nothing.
nothing. And Chaos from High Fidelity said she will give me one, or she's betting me 1 Bitcoin that there's an evil plan between Linden Lab and High Fidelity to morph the platforms together at some point.
I
or
think
something.
there is too.
Real? Oh my God!
That, huh?
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I do.
I
don't
think that
think
they
so.
are
I
frenemies.
I think from a financial standpoint and a future standpoint, because when you look at it, they're both on AWS servers, right? So Linden Labs is also running on Amazon servers as well. They have a lot of similarities, but the difference is I think as far as avatars and clothing and all that kind of stuff, High Fidelity is definitely far further ahead.
but
So I've always thought that for the last year. I thought that at some point those two are going to come together and okay, dude, we've got to figure out how to morph this together.
I really think they're in the long term. I don't think they can be put together.
I think they'll choose a platform is what they'll do. They'll choose a platform and sink all their money into it and see which one's going to be the most successful. They're not stupid men.
Okay, folks, hold on. Cable.
Woohoo.
Well,
but anyways, that's my 5-second podcast.
Yeah, no, it's good. Those are good points. And Dama, next time you're invited to the full podcast, and so is QB. I think QB's warming his
awesome!
arms.
Thank you.
Don't step into the fire.
we actually made it so it burns your actual real feet too if you do that. So.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's like. Oh, this is funny. This is so funny, QB. Keep doing this. This looks good.
That was awesome. Do it again.
So
do it again.
I'm going to take an opportunity here to stick my neck out and say that the kind of these NPCs that you just saw, the bird and the little girl, are very much what I'm working on right now, and I'm working with a number of other people, including Jasmine, to try to make that more available to other designers. But I'll tell you, this in particular, how we did this was painstaking. I'd say it was about half the effort just getting the bird and the girl to work. Wouldn't you say, Jasmine?
Especially in that time, I understand.
About half the effort.
It's awesome, Galen. And
I turned off the choreography to you, and then I just focused on making models.
Yeah, but you went through what, like 4 different iterations of making the little girl?
Yes, and I'm still working on her.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard work. It was backbreaking, making it look really simple and easy.
This is so awesome.
It doesn't. Yeah, I don't think it looks simple and easy. I think it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is,
folks.
The mood is, you just nailed the mood. It's spooky and dark and you know, I'm glad I did it with people around, like actually.
But yeah, I'm hoping within a month or two to have a set of scripting capabilities, a kit of sorts for putting together things like animals, and human NPCs. You know.
Oh, Galen, this is the very first day when we conceptualized Harvest. There is a story in the back of my head surrounding Fluffy, who comes from Second Life, and it's a kind of a creepy, weird story. Fluffy stands at the end of the road where it says "road closed," and if you watch the 114 Harvest trailer, this is hinting at all the stuff that's in my head. So what you're saying is giving me tremendous hope that sometimes down the road we can actually make this also a reality. Let's go to the next thing, because I want to go to Demas, but first I want to go to the Hall of Materials from Linden Labs. Just tool around there a little bit. This is a shorter show today. I gotta cut it short at 12 second lifetime. So let's go over there. Kaiva Love Strands on YouTube is asking, what experience is this? It's minor difficulties. I typed that in.
Right, minor with an ER instead of an OR. That was a brilliant pun by Jasmine.
It's brilliant, yeah. Major, minor. It's written in a minor key.
It was written in a minor.
So I did paste the URL in the chat window here in Sansar for anyone who needs to know where to go. But it's also, I think, the first experience in the Atlas, so you should be able to see it in your head-mounted displays.
Linden Lab, now they're featuring their own stuff. They're killing us.
Yeah, I know they are.
Yeah, and they said they're not in the content business, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. All right, heading there.
So, see you there.
Can't trust them. Kaya Love Strands. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Oops.
Kaya Lovestrand's on YouTube loves it. Okay, so so who knows what's going on in here? There's some other dude. Echo! Hey!
Hello.
Hey, Echo.
Echo, what's up? Are you making those Echo shoes?
Now I see what I mean with the 3D. Drax, you need to look this way.
Exactly, that's what I saw last time.
Oh my God.
This is
I see it for the
unbelievable.
first time.
Wow.
I'm now in VR. Before I were in desktop.
Isn't this crazy,
Oh my
Avocados?
Gosh.
Oh my god.
Ah, I don't like that thing. Oh
So
my
this is
gosh.
a media surface.
Yeah, I don't like that thing. It's gonna.
Oh, nice.
It's
All
going
right.
to be really
Like it,
fun if you stick your
no.
nose out.
I don't like it.
Can you
Okay, so I'm
touch it? How does this
finally in
work?
VR mode here too. This is cool. It's just a 3D video. That's it. I
It's-
mean, just like
Stereoscopic.
It's
Yeah.
a stereoscopic
never-
video, and if you put that on the
presenting
media
it to each
texture,
of your eyes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Drax, you might remember this. Remember back in the day when they had the old viewers and you slid
Yes.
not the one where you clicked it through the toy one, but the actual old ones where they had the black and white film and
Viewmaster.
well, it's the original Viewmaster.
Oh,
They
yeah,
date
yeah,
they date back to like the 1950s or before that actually, and
I forgot what they're called.
and it's just like this. And it's but
Yeah.
now we're seeing video
Yeah.
instead of looking into a 3D scene.
You mean the plastic ones with a round disc?
I don't know the old wood
No,
ones.
no,
No?
they had.
The old wood ones
I
with
had
the-
one that was really. It was an antique, and I had this whole set of cards, and they were all old black and white images of miners and people up in the mountains and in the cities and stuff like that. And
Yeah, late 19th century is
what's
very
up with
impressive.
the miners?
yeah,
But, yeah, no, I know. Wow, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but so-
this is it. This is it, but in video.
so
Well,
this
same with,
automatically, whatever you feed this texture in Sansar will automatically be displayed. So if you feed it a 3D stereoscopic source material, it will display this, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn. Oh my god, this is crazy.
It's cool. Yeah. So,
No.
believe it or not, a couple of people have set up full 360-degree panoramas that are also 3D videos.
Wow.
Wow.
Careful, Drax is breathing on the plan now.
Wow, this is so cool.
I know, right? He's gonna
Is it
poop on you.
flashing sometimes for you too?
What
With
is-
green? Sometimes
look.
the screen is
Oh, wow,
getting
the-
green.
Oh! Whoa! Get out of here!
That was
Biting you,
awesome.
Drax.
Oh my
Jesus
gosh, Dad.
Christ.
It came out of the window.
What the f... Ah! Ricardo's, come closer, go there. Echo, go there, Echo. Look at this, it's good for you.
Oh my gosh. That was so wild.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about on the...
Look at that. It's popping out of the window.
Yes, I see.
Dax.
Wow, this
Look
is
at
crazy. This is amazing. And you look on the side and you see that it's an illusion. If you look at it from the side... This is
But
pretty
what an
damn cool.
illusion. Oh my gosh.
Look at it from the side. I mean, it's just it's just a normal flat
It
screen.
follows you. Yeah. It's not truly 3D. It's just stereoscopic.
Stereoscopic.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's beyond cool.
So you can watch Avatar in 3D.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know what? Oh my gosh. Does this
And then
just
you get-
open up the world to 3D videos in Sansar? I mean, literally 3D movies. I
Right.
mean,
They're already
It's
there
almost
on
like
YouTube.
the technology, like a 3D TV, which didn't take off, is now can be viewed in a technology that also
Right.
usually won't take
Can
off.
be put-
Drax, this is working
I don't
better
know if
than
you can
3D
merge-
TV.
if you can merge the
That
two
was pretty
together.
funny.
I know. I think I want the ability to sit down so I can go sit in a movie theater and go
Yeah.
watch a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally
know.
the same. I don't go to movie theaters because people are so
This is
annoying.
better than a 3D
I know,
TV.
but how cool would that be in VR now? You can go into a movie theater and you can turn off all your sound except for the movie.
And then
which would be
somebody
really
like
cool.
Echo comes in with a weird monkey hanging from his belly.
I know.
I'm not judging you, Echo. It's only good fun. Hello there.
Oh my gosh, this thing's gonna poke its head through.
Are you using
Go both.
I'm in the 5.
No.
Are you using a Vive?
Uh-oh. That thing's
5,
gonna
yes.
come forward.
Oh,
I'm not
I'm
looking.
using-
I'm not looking.
I'm using a Vive too. It's not working. for
I'm
me.
not looking.
What is not
Just
working?
a-
I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's
Dinosaurs
move on here.
scare me.
What?
Okay.
Okay, what is
Ain't
this
working
thing?
for me.
We don't know. You still
Interactive
have piece
materials,
of
I think.
faces.
Yeah. It's using so that is
Oh,
actually so
Echo's
all the
touching it.
edges and everything on here is using this is using curves with normal maps and height maps. So all the edging that you see when you're actually doing your layering and your texturing, this is actually built on the curve maps. So this is it's kind of I love curves. It's kind of neat.
That's something
I
I
love
don't
It's what-
understand. Or as
it's what
Matt
bring-
who
it's-
put it
It's
yesterday
what brings out the
bluntly,
detail.
Drax, you don't understand this stuff. That was
Drax,
Yeah.
I don't understand everything too.
What?
Oh.
I
So
don't
here,
understand everything too.
so here, let me
That's
see
not
if
too
they've
obvious.
got the curve map on here. How do you touch this?
Can you touch
Anyways, how do you interact with these things? I tried yesterday and I couldn't do it.
Ricardus is able to, but I can't seem
It
to
seems
with
to
mine.
work for me.
I know. Oh,
Mine-
there. I got it.
Pull the trigger.
Yep.
Oh, it is working for me now. Huh.
Maybe it's the place where you stay.
Apparently, if you're right in front of it, it doesn't work. Huh.
So then it shows you the different layers?
It's supposed to.
But I don't see any difference.
Yeah, it's not working.
No, I'm
I
seeing
see
it's
just
changing.
a
Yes.
light difference.
Something
A
changed.
very
It's subtle
gloss.
differences. Ah. Oh, there we
Wait a
go.
minute, what
Okay.
is this curve map? I've only heard of roughness, and I've only heard that we had roughness, metallic, and normal, but
Correct.
we don't
Correct.
have anything else yet, right?
No, so actually you use them in like Substance Painter. Substance Painter, your curve maps is what brings out the edging detail in your model. That
Okay,
that
never
in
mind. That's
turn-
what I'm already doing. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just using a different term than I'm remembering or hearing of. I was like, wait a minute, is this something? So yes, you're saying exporting normal roughness, blah blah blah.
I only see
all those
two
from
differences.
substance.
Right,
Okay,
but
This is
when
yeah,
you're-
yeah.
illumination.
but when you're in
Two brightness,
Substance Painter, it's called curves.
Take a look at this one.
Look
See
at
how
that. I don't know
glossy
if
and
I've even
metallic it
paid
Yeah,
looks?
glossy,
You
okay.
probably
Sometimes
haven't
I
paid
forget.
much attention to it.
I
More
probably
matte
have,
finish.
or I just don't remember
Matte,
the words.
yeah.
Sometimes I don't remember exactly words.
So I'll send you. I'll send you a
that is
video
very
on it, and it'll
matte.
make a
Oh,
whole
yeah,
bunch
cool.
of sense. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sounds great.
Brighter.
Awesome
Okay.
sauce,
Oh,
yes.
I
Maybe
see. Now I
get
see the
Substance
differences.
Painter, but-
But
Wet.
sometimes, like, literally, I'll do something like, oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
All the way
No,
on the
I'll
left,
send-
lower left
I'll
side.
send you a Substance video that'll make a ton of
Ah.
sense. It's actually done by a third-party guy, but it walks
Oh.
you through the process of baking detail into normal maps
Let
and
me try.
into
Are you-
curves,
you're just touching
and
it, right? You're
re-importing the curve map. So
I'm
all
pulling
of
the
a
trigger.
sudden, all those edges when you're
And punching into it.
creating height in something, right? You have to re-bake the curve map, so
Just
the
in front of
texture
my-
finds those edges.
When I was right in front of it,
there's
it
a
didn't
trick to
seem
it,
to
and
work.
it's pretty
I don't know why,
amazing.
I
but
bet
on the
I
side,
haven't, I may not have
Sideways.
seen that.
and it seems a little easier.
It's not in any of the Substance Painter ones.
Okay, then yeah,
I'm
because those are the
bumping
only
into
ones
my
I've went
screen.
through, so then that's why I haven't seen that.
It's like,
Here,
ah,
let
it's
me- let me
tactile.
find-
Okay, now press
not
the lower
still
left
working.
again. Aha. Cool.
Can you hear me, Jasmine?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm spacing out. I'm looking at the shine on that, and I just kind of went to another place. What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
Where?
hope Dana can send the link to the video too,
Oh yes.
in case I get Substance Painter.
Oh, from this lighting, it looks
yes,
great.
it's worth every penny, and
Yeah, I
really
have
make
now
sure
3D
things look
cards.
good. Yes, that's very good program too. But I think Substance, you can get it to where it'll export out exactly what you need for here.
What is the difference with this
That's what
view?
I'm thinking about. But I'm waiting for Black Friday. I hope they have a good.
Oh yeah, they do that
This
one.
is
Yes,
the
they do.
also metal and roughness.
Oh, this is playing with metals, I guess. Different normal maps.
Wow.
Neat.
Dima,
Like
someone's
Swiss
on
cheese
your head.
pitted.
Totally. This is crazy.
I think
I hope
Dima
people
is not
see
here
this,
and it's-
see the rendering on
Yeah,
YouTube
Dima,
because
someone's
the
on your head. You're going cheerleader on us.
So I just went ahead and I put the link in the chat box for everybody for that video for Substance Painter. And you guys,
So
it's gonna.
I think there's one more back here.
You're not
Yeah.
doing it. Is going to open up your
here.
world.
Here's another cute
With Substance Painter.
Oh, I guess this one's changeable too.
But
Standard
maybe I
material.
get Substance Painter.
Yeah, no, you'll enjoy.
Oh
that
no, never
video
mind.
a
It's just
lot.
it's stationary.
But I wait for Black
I like
Friday.
I
they're
like
showing-
a lot how they did that. I mean, this you can imagine
me
that,
too.
for example, with what you're saying, like your the girl or
what,
that
with
kind of
Substance
functionality
Painter?
could be
Yes,
a wonderful
last year they did have a nice,
NPC
package.
for like a
no,
gateway
it's a
area, like a like a
subscription-based.
welcome
Yeah,
area.
a welcomer. Yeah.
It's $19 a month.
It could be actually
No,
me,
I
but the NPC
not
version.
do subscription based.
Oh no.
Hi, this is Drax.
They have a sale.
How are you?
They may have a sale.
And then you say,
And all your
shut
friends
up.
will be like, "Hey, go away. This one's more interesting than you."
They'll say, hello.
With their subscription base, you get I don't know. I pay the same for Photoshop. I mean, you can't outright buy Photoshop anymore.
Oh, there you go. Now it's working for you.
But I thought
Ah,
Substance, you could get
that
a
was
perpetual
Try again.
license, you could convert it.
You can convert.
So,
perpetual, yeah.
You can just hold down the trigger and just
I'm gonna
punch
do
it.
that so that I can pay less because I think
Ah,
I've
yeah.
got
There you go.
it saved up now.
I know, right?
Try the next one over.
Yeah,
Too
because
close
can't
to my
can't
screen,
you
so-
convert your subscription
There you go.
that you've paid into a perpetual?
These are great materials on all four of these. There you go.
Oops, now I'm touching him.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. I especially like the mossy one. That one.
Wow.
Was staring at that for a long time at yesterday's meeting. It really looks far richer in its depth than the model really is.
That is
yeah,
so
right.
cool. Oh, I know. It's just all texture.
Yeah.
Texture, normal maps.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Galen.
It looks better in
Going back
VR.
to what we taped on the podcast, I really do think that Sansa will win the race.
Yeah, I
It will
think so
destroy
too.
everybody. It will just.
It's just absolutely
not that good
gorgeous. I mean,
graphics,
and then
losing.
everything else will come. And you know what? It's. I think we are visual beings. You know.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not.
let me.
think- I'll be happy when they start
I read books.
optimizing this place a little bit more, though, because I'm getting I have a 400 megabyte cable coming in, and
Nice.
even in here with all you people, I'm still jittery when I come in here. So there's some
only got 60.
performance issues.
I got no problem with 60.
There are sometimes
Yeah,
problems.
there's performance issues still, a lot of performance issues, and I
Oh,
can
yeah.
tell when I come into VR. Hey, Arnold.
But
Hey, Anu.
Hey, Anu, what's happening?
I know.
Anu.
Your microphone's off if you're talking.
Anu is wearing.
No, he's not
his tinfoil
talking.
hat.
Yeah.
I like his
I love
tinfoil
that.
hat. We all need one.
Someone's got to protect us from all these Sansar waves.
Do you think there's possibility of peaceful coexistence, though? Really, because
Yeah.
I like both of them. You know, I just
I do
really
too,
do.
but I don't think that there's room for two almost identical competitors.
No.
And we see the differences. We're so embedded that we can see the differences starkly, but the rest of the world doesn't. They're practically identical. I don't think they can both exist.
Well,
Well,
we're
I
talking
think-
about two, but we forget that also in the podcast we talked a little
Yes.
bit about VR Chat, so there's a few others. And VR
Yeah.
Chat, I do think is a serious contender, although probably Linden Lab folks would say, come on, it's like two guys out of their garage. But the bottom line is that VR Chat has kind of a core group community that is sizable and should not be dismissed. And we all know it's a fragmented game. Right now, it's not the olden days where you have eyeballs. It's very fragmented. So all these
Yeah.
companies are competing in a really tough race for eyeballs and kind of getting people to stick with with their platform. Again, on the other hand, now we're always going into this meta conversation, which is fine because it's so it's kind of consuming us, I guess, us enthusiasts. The question is Linden Lab has stated many times that they just want Sansar not to, the difference between Second Life is that, or what they want it to be, is that Sansar is going to be, you build your stuff and then it's built with Sansar, but you do all the stuff, you market it with through your channels and stuff like that. It's not like, it's not the front portal. People go directly into your thing, like Unity.
But you not need to run a
That's no
server
different from
like
Second Life,
Hi-Fi.
really. Though.
Yeah.
Second Life is just the same. I mean, yeah, people have a welcome area, but they just get teleported away if they were invited in.
Yeah.
I think that's a red herring.
But they don't. They leave and they uninstall. Here's Darling. Hi, Darling. How are you?
Hey, Drax. I think what is gonna set the bar is in January, and that's when the movie Ready Player One comes out. That's going to set the bar for any virtual world because everyone's going to see that movie. It's done by Steven Spielberg. He has done an amazing job already. And
that's what they're going to assume it's supposed to look like.
Exactly. And so that's going to set the bar for anybody in this race.
Are you talking
and actually,
visuals, or are you talking some other aspect?
For visuals, for everything. So you've read the book Ready Player One, right?
No, I haven't yet.
You need to read the book before you see the movie. I'll give you a free copy. So what it is it's in the year 2024, if I remember correctly. The world has collapsed. Everybody's literally living in VR.
Well,
and
that's
so
some premise.
It's pretty
Stacks
amazing.
of trash cans.
Actually, you know what they stack is homes, mobile homes.
No, I know. I was kidding.
It's pretty cool.
And cars and everything else that are stacked.
Yeah.
I have a trash
can. But so Dax, did you know
Grover, right?
that if you work at Oculus Rift, Ready Player One is required reading? You have to read it before you get the job.
Okay, I'm sorry. We need to move on because it's a short thing.
I'm just saying.
No. This is a good one. The reason why I'm evading that subject matter because it leads me to my opinion about Mr. Lucky and.
I'm not talking about Lucky.
I know,
I'm yeah.
Who's Mr. Lucky?
The book is fantastic and it's important and it's the new metaphor for what world should be, and I agree.
It's actually the roadmap to VR.
Well,
the Matrix is the future.
That's what the platform providers like to say. I hope that it's not, because there are other books who are much better. But that's
really.
Yeah. Oh. I have an entire library full of books that are tons better than Ready Player One is good. It's a good quick read, and I do I agree with you that in popular culture, if the film is a success, it will be the visual metaphor, and that is, I absolutely agree with you, is a plus for Linden Lab in this race, because they will come in and they see this and it'll look very good, and so that's awesome. I'm just saying I'm a total literature snob. You don't know me, but I just think there are tons better books about the concept of
virtual
VR.
reality.
Oh, absolutely.
Ricardo, so getting a lot of your local sound, you might want to mute.
Darling, go ahead.
The thing about it is, I think programs like A-Frame and Janus are going to win in the end, and I'll tell you why. The cost of Janus and A-Frame are minuscule compared to High Fidelity and Sansar. In the end, they can exist on
Let me know
peanuts.
if it happens with me too. I don't know.
When the burn rate of Sansar and High Fidelity is way higher, they literally have the money right now to outlast any of the other platforms. Even if they got no users, they would still financially be able to last way longer. So the amount of users, the investment they get back. If Janus got 5 people, the investment still looks better than any of the other platforms because of the cost per user.
For now.
Good point. And also, let's remind people that some Tony Parisi, among others, who co-creator of VRML, has said we already have the metaverse, and the metaverse is the internet, and so we should build this on the internet like A-Frame. Oh, we have a new. Is this Strawberry with long hair? No.
Sorry about that.
Okay, I would say, Dama, let's go to your experience. So
Sure.
and, for the YouTube folks, I'm gonna put the URLs into the description. I think this is awesome. What we haven't done is here my last word on the bottom here is audio materials that you can put in to your experience, which I think is very cool. So, yeah, good job, Linden Lab.
Do you have my link? Oh, actually, if you go to all, it's the second row to the furthest to the right.
What's the name, right? Dama?
No, but you just click on all.
Ah.
Dama, what's the name?
What?
What's the name? Oh, Dama Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Found
Dima
it.
Cyberpunk Dreams.
Dima Cyberpunk Dreams. Here's where we're going.
All right, see you there.
Oh, I feel bad for. So that was the hall of materials. Let's see. Oops. Get to desktop mode. Hello. Hello. Strange. Are we coming in?
This looks better in the Vive than in 2D on the desktop mode. I didn't realize that you have a floating building here.
I do.
Floating?
Yeah.
Where?
Oh, I do. Here with no base.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that.
Oh, I love that. That gives you. This is a great mix that we had for today, because this gives you a sense of scale. What you can do, like in Silico, in Second Life, you could do this in Sansar.
Yeah.
With the sense of scale. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the glowy. I like
That's the problem. We cannot set something dynamic
really nice.
in scripts.
Thank you.
Which
It's
event?
I kind of
I
like.
did talk to Galen.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry. What's that, Ricardus?
We cannot set anything dynamic by script.
Yeah,
So-
you can't.
You said it
So the
dynamic.
highlight of this is actually the elevators. It's pretty cool.
I thought the
So-
highlight was your antlers.
Oh, thank you.
This
So,
is-
follow me.
I think Ricardus has the right idea. Someone needs to.
before and it didn't go well, Dima.
Somebody has to invent the collapsing piano, the falling piano.
Oh
Falls
yeah.
on your head.
Oh, that's a nice one, Galen. Yes, I try. I'm running.
Here comes the elevator.
Well, I'm cheating.
You can actually see through it. This
Yes,
time I
you
couldn't see
can.
it before.
Wow.
Did you change that
Just
today?
like the Biltmore Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, I get. This
I
is much
know,
better
right?
seeing through it. Yeah.
And it's so pretty. That's so well done.
It feels a little
Thank
bit
you.
weird if the iPad
Okay,
is good.
get off.
I
Yes,
don't
hurry,
know.
hurry. Get off. Isn't that the mantra in Second Life?
She got smashed.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, too bad. Jasmine, that's it.
Failed to get off again.
Whoa. Don't go so close, Ricardo.
Right, there's nothing scary.
Wow, this is pretty scary.
Yeah, look down at the
I kind
elevator.
of want to jump on the top of it.
Yes,
Watch,
it's
here
not
it
doing so much for me.
comes.
I think I'm a little bit in
Oh,
Okay,
look!
I'm gonna
Oh my
jump
gosh.
on top of the elevator.
Oh, this
Whoa,
is kind of
Die
awesome.
Hard 5.
Can I do it? I can't get off.
Oh, this is cool.
Victorian sense.
This is cool.
Totally awesome looking up at all you guys falling down on me.
Well, let's do that again.
The sign is forbidden to jump from buildings, so.
Where's the elevator now? Is the elevator...
So there's 2 elevators on either side.
Wait, I
so
want
you
to
can-
jump again.
It was pretty fun, huh?
So the elevators, they're coming on a fixed schedule, right?
Yeah, they're animated mesh, and so they have to be timed. They can't be.
Yeah, so this is actually animated FBX.
Whoa, this is the best fun. Okay, let me jump first this time, Galen, and then I'll look up as you come down.
Oh shoot! Oh crap!
Whoa!
Oh crap!
All the lemmings.
Wow. That like totally makes your stomach drop.
Okay, we gotta do this again. It looks so cool when I'm looking up and people actually falling down.
Is there no ceiling in there? Oh, is there any ceiling?
Oh God, we're entertaining ourselves to death.
But how fun is this though, Drax?
Yeah.
How fun is this?
Look, I was born and raised in Germany. I was told that fun is no good because no superior BMW car was ever designed by pure fun. Verstehen Sie das nicht? In Germany, fun is the okay.
Jump.
Wait, okay.
All your friends are doing it, Drax. Jump off the bridge.
Fuck!
So he wants to look up at us while we all like lemmings jump aboard. Let's go.
Jump!
Splat.
Oh, I pushed the axe off. Yeah.
Oh no! Did you push Drax?
Wait, I'm down here. I was squished down. What did you...
Wow, that was cool.
How did I get in?
I think you fell between the cracks.
Physics magic. That's how you got in there, Drax. Physics magic.
Yep.
You not need to do this for 30 minutes because then you get sick, I think.
I gotta do it again. I'm becoming addicted. It's like bungee jumping.
So Drax is gonna do it again.
Sorry,
it's so much fun.
He wants to go another time.
So the whole goal of this, oh, and I built this actually for Second Life, this whole tub set, and I brought it in here.
Oh yeah.
By the way, this is actually for sale at Enchantment right now.
You scaled it down.
Nice.
Yeah,
you scale this down?
It's pretty, but so the whole what I'm working on right now is actually when you come up to this level, there's going to be these huge round platforms, and I literally just found all the graphics for it and stuff. These old or not old, but all Japanese kind of signs and stuff like that. I'm going to build like a full cyberpunk, and so you'll walk out and there'll be bars. You can walk to different platforms, neon lights everywhere. It's going to be pretty cool.
Decidedly bad idea.
So it'll take a while, but
that's what
it'll
I was
be
going
fun.
to ask. So, do you also envision, for example, that's what I loved with Insilico. Like, could you imagine actual little apartment pods where people
absolutely
could live, you know?
Absolutely.
And it becomes really a city.
I can barely hear you. Something happened.
On one of your ideas here. I think you're going to be hard pressed to find many people who want to live at 114 Harvest. No, that's not what I mean. I mean something that's very decidedly different about Sansar versus, say, Second Life is you really can't get free land in Second Life. So far, you can get free land in Sansar, which means there are going to be a lot of people who want the Barbie doll house, but I think that they're going to opt for the free land and the low-cost house and put crap in it. I think that's what's likely going to be the start. I think it's going to be a while before people want the community, and part of it is you can't even place a chair. If you want to place a chair, someone has to rebuild the scene. It's too big of a barrier.
Yeah, that is. I hope that changes because I can't tell you how many times I uploaded that elevator because the textures weren't right because I had no preview. There was no way, and there was no way for me to change the textures in World. So that, from a building standpoint, that makes it very cumbersome, and that's going to be for the user that just, I think that's going to be a big frustration point for a lot of people that are like, they don't really understand the textures. They don't, it's like, we understand them, and game builders understand it, but still to not be able to change my texture once my model is in world is really difficult. That's frustrating for me.
We'll add more. We'll add more ability to customize, and who knows? Maybe I'll make a way for you to move furniture around using scripts. But it's going to be extremely limited. Well,
I just want to sit. I just want to.
Guys,
I want to sit down.
Sorry, I'm looking at the clock. I gotta wrap it up. Galen made a good point. Let me end on this note, that when I say I want 114 Harvest to be a community, I'm all about community and leveling the playing field. So my goal is not to monetize this. My goal is to find out if there's a way that people enjoy being there because there's going to be events. For example, Joe Yardley is very successful. And again, I'm saying this in non-monetary terms. Joe is also successful monetarily because she charges rent. But 1920s Berlin is always fully rented, and there's always something going on. Why do people enjoy it? Because of that community, and that's what interests me personally. Like, you know, communities like Silico or Berlin. This is what fascinates me primarily, because I'm so not a gamer. That is what I'm trying to create. For example, I'm planning on having game night, having a book club. The podcast is going to be in the basement, so there's always
all that has huge potential.
And and it has, and the feel, if you are into replicating, simulating, role playing a tight-knit community like truly a global village, then that is what 114 Harvest represents. It's a hub for people to start with. That's what I'm trying to start to establish. And my last word on this, because as we get more and more fragmented, there's other examples in Second Life, like Bay City, with tons of amazing events around a very strong community, the nonprofit Comets community.
A lot of good communities.
And now I think we even will have a stronger need around that because of the increased fragmentation. However it's going to play out, you know, maybe one survives, many survives, but we're going to even be more micro niche.
A quick thought, though. Jasmine has actually talked quite a bit. She and I have talked quite a bit, and she kind of has the right idea. What I think what's going to happen is we're going to create places that are hubs. It's funny. This goes back to the early days of Second Life, but there'll be hubs where you can teleport to other experiences.
Yes,
and that's
what I'm hoping for this place. That's what I want for this place.
I think.
So
what's that, Curtis?
I think that's what Sansa always told us.
Yeah.
People make their own hubs.
Okay, viewers on YouTube plus you guys, go to the marketplace right now and buy a free teleport thing back to Harvest. that ensures my dominance in the marketplace is with everybody on their sim.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
but are you gonna give a reciprocated link over?
See, that could be an interesting plan. So, absolutely.
Subtle. You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
That's
exactly.
right.
So why not?
This is how this one works.
I know.
But look, no. But now we're getting somewhere. I think this is actually a great idea. It's not. If we could, I would find it cool. Also, as a really cool, playful metaphor, if we have, let's say, a bus station. It could be also a telephone booth or whatever, right?
Nice.
You go in and boom, you go somewhere. Or maybe there's a telephone. You dial a certain number, and then you go to this other experience. What I noticed, of course, with you, Jasmine, with this experience, which is fantastic, but of course it would be ideal if the teleport to another experience is instantaneous. That's right now a big drawback for immersion.
Yes.
That there's loading in between. Okay.
Right.
They're aware of this, and ultimately there's a big goal to kind of minimize that. But now imagine if here in this awesome super cyberpunk world, which I would completely rent an apartment right now, I would rent an entire tower no matter what it costs, but I would be even more thrilled if there would be this phone booth on the bottom where I could go in and then I'll dial a number.
Actually, there's gonna be billboards. There's gonna be billboards and teleports, just like it would futuristically, right?
That's awesome.
So there's gonna be like billboards and teleports. And if somebody wants me to, I'll put up something for their place, and I'll put a teleport to their place. I don't care. Yeah, this is
an elevator here for teleporting.
That'd be cool.
I
and
think that's the way to do
and
it.
I love,
Drax, you're talking about the houses where you're going to put everything inside the house, but what I think you should do is make it where you go to the door. Yeah. And that takes you to the other person's experience, and and their experience is inside the house. Like you have the outside of the house.
Yep.
They build the inside of the house.
And that's what we're going to do with stores here too.
clever.
So people who have a store, I'm going to have storefronts. And I was talking with this somebody who built Dark Forest.
That's Cerberus.
Cerberus, yeah. So we were talking, and we had this idea, right? And he's like, "Well, we should like build these places, and when they walk to the door, it's somebody's storefront, right? But then it takes them to their storefront, and then when they leave the store, and it's like multiple cities all over the grid, right?
Exactly.
And so they have the choice.
With the grid, I completely agree. And Jasmine, that we had that same idea, and that makes sense. But for Harvest specifically, what the plan is,
I have to remember the name.
We're not going to do that because we want to go inside the house. But your idea, conceptually, is a great idea, and that's exactly, I think, how we can, again, be more of a grid, more of an interconnected world. Because I personally, the Atlas metaphor, I understand from Linda's point of view why they did that. Also, how it's done visually is well implemented. But what is much better to stay completely immersed and do that via, for example, like you were saying, via a billboard of a store, or there's a door to a store you go in and then you go on this other experience. With Harvest, what the next step is that you teleport into the interior of the house, which is on the same experience, so it goes instantaneous. But then
so it's inside. Instantaneous. Yeah, I like
you want to be inside, and then somebody says, for example, what I often do when I write or work on other things, I am logged into Second Life and my avatar is typing on a typewriter. I like that metaphor. So in Sansar, I could still be in the basement, but in a position where my avatar is writing while I'm writing in the real world, and then my neighbor on Harvest could just
like we do in Second Life.
Yeah.
So, but I have a question with that, though, and I know you've got to go. So hopefully Linden Labs will give us the capability to be able to have collaboration and give permissions for people to put down their own furniture and stuff, because otherwise I can't, you can't do that right now. So technically they have to teleport over to their own experience. And if somebody's got a store for something like that, it's their own experience. It's the inside of the store. It's their products. Yeah. And then we want to have them click on them, and then they can buy them from the store.
Ricardo, this is your task today to put this in feature request if you don't already have it. But I'm kidding, because I think they have acknowledged that, Dima. I think that is definitely on the roadmap. I mean, I remember that was being addressed, because it's a no-brainer. This is a huge drawback right now. And again, we were talking earlier about High Fidelity, where they did the demo where you can hand stuff over and then you can take it and put it into your own place. They already have that functionality, I think, for virtual reality worlds to really succeed. That's what we need.
Yeah, you've been able to do that in High Fidelity for quite some time now. You can hand stuff to somebody, and it's pretty cool. Give full permissions for your own server and all that. But I think once they get to that point, it's going to open up the possibilities, especially for your place, where people can literally have a house and put their own stuff in the house and stuff. So
Totally.
What my idea is I have a main experience, and I put my house on it. When you go in the door, you can go to another experience where my house and my garden is. That way you can keep your house secure.
Well, and that's true too.
Because what the Drex want, how do you want to make people safe in the building? There's no privacy zone.
Especially if I want to have, what's coming to this place in a couple of years. It's going to happen, So,
thing,
I mean, that thing. So, I don't want someone walking in on me. I'm not really an exhibitionist. I'm.
Although in Second Life, a lot of people really are.
Funny. That was so funny of a way to skirt around that. That's pretty funny.
That's what you say now. Maybe you change your mind on that. No, that's not that funny, actually.
Did I miss something in Second Life?
I'll have a cyberpunk massage parlor.
As long as you put a Back to Harvest sign in the corner.
Well, of course they can come to the city, and get away, come to the dark city, right?
And go back to
suburbia.
Exactly.
To shower off.
Who knows what's going on in suburbia?
Massage.
They'll hop in their little floating car, right, and they'll zoom off into the sky, which is going to take them over to take them to Cyberpunk City, and then they can come here and be debaucherous, and then go home.
But Ricardo, I didn't understand what you were saying. Were you saying like you go in to the house
Yes, and then you get teleported to another experience where your house is in the garden and your furniture, everything.
Right, and the teleporter itself can be secured and thereby limit who can go in. I think that's what's his point, right?
The other experience you can secure.
The experience would be secure.
So it's on a different.
So you teleport into a wall.
But there's got to be they're thinking about.
You'd have to be able to lock the teleport, though. There's got to be a way. There'd have to be a way to do that.
I know that Maya, who works at Linden Lab, Maya Linden, who works in cybersecurity, who's been with us Atlas hopping a few times. Wonderful new Linden over there. That's what her job is. I mean, she's thinking about this round the clock. How to create security as well as freedom.
If they give us scripters the ability to talk to a web server, we can implement all of it. We really don't need them beyond that point.
Maya,
they just
yeah.
They just
Are
need
you
to
listening, Maya?
I mean, for example,
but they've got to implement something for the users that come in that just don't want to mess with that stuff. Yeah, I mean, they've got to make it. They've got to develop it for the simple folks that come in, and then give us more controls for.
Okay, so let me paint a really simple picture. So
he's been doing this for days.
Painting
24 hours.
You do
24
that.
Hours.
You've got to do it in 2 minutes. Then the show is over.
Some of you have played with obviously with my reflex scripts right now. One of them is a sensor, like a trigger volume sensor that you can step on. Another is a teleporter that will take you somewhere. It would be very easy for me to create a component that slips in between. That basically is an access control component where all you do is you plug in an ID of some access list. So when the signal comes from the sensor, it goes into this little access control thing that goes to a web server somewhere. The web server says, yes, that person is allowed into that place ID, and then that sends a signal to the teleporter, and you're gone. That's how easy it can be to implement something like this. But we need the ability for the scripts to talk to a web server.
Why can't we just do that in World? Why can't they just give us the ability to edit a script in World?
Sure, they can. But I'm saying we can do so much more. So if they actually spend 5 minutes to implement a capability, we can throw hundreds of programmers outside of Linden Lab for free, work for free to create these capabilities.
There's a Linden watching. They're listening.
I would actually.
Awesome.
I would actually like the ability to be able to pull my trigger. I point on you, right?
Oh yeah.
And if I'm on my experience, I can say, okay, you have access right there.
Yep.
I like that in my own experience, right? Nowhere else, just my own place. I could pull the trigger. Right now I get mute or remove friend, and then I can say, have access to this list. Boom, done.
Right. Now, obviously, whenever we talk about these things, our natural impulse is to want Linden Lab to do everything, because in principle they can do everything that we talk about better than we can in principle, but in practice they have a limited number of people. And that's the Second Life message. Second Life, we want them desperately to do things to make life easier for us. But what do? We race ahead of them 10 years faster, 10 light years faster than they can go.
Yeah, this is true.
And our interfaces in Second Life are terrible because we're limited in what we can do. So ideally, there's this mix and match.
I wouldn't say they're terrible.
Try putting clothes on if you're a newbie. You got to go through
that's
3 hours of...
That's a real
issue. That is an issue. I do agree. I've trained lots of newbies.
Yeah, no, that
I put my pants on the same way as everybody else. Step one.
For VR to real, that definitely is a big obstacle. And oh god, this conversation is invigorating. I gotta wrap it, because now actually, Galen, you're reminding me of the story when Linden Lab tried to remember when they split the viewer. They had a simple viewer and then the full-fledged viewer, and that didn't work.
Oh yeah.
Oh, not the basic view. Terrible.
Remember that? That backfired pretty badly. It was not a bad idea, but the way it was implemented, they had no idea how to actually select the people who were content with the basic stuff. And I met a noob there, And the noob said, wow, this is cool. How do I change my clothes? And I told her, well, you click here, you click there. And she said, I don't see those buttons. And then it dawned on me, oh, shit, she's in the basic viewer. Now I said, oh, you're in the basic viewer. You got to go into the advanced view. How do I do that? And I go, like, I don't know. Maybe you got probably download it.
You have to download this.
No, I think you had to relog or something. I mean, it was really cumbersome. So it was
let me give an example. You said there's a Linden listening too. Right now, I'm facing a tough choice for Reflex. I would like to create a multi-option menuing capability. And the picture that I have right now, in light of what we have, is that a person presses on their keyboard the 1, the 2, the 3 or 4, and I show them in the chat window, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. And I keep thinking in my head, this is stupid. I shouldn't have to implement that.
Right.
And it's going to be clunky and it's going to be ugly and people are going to say, why can't I do this in VR?
Right.
What Linden Lab should do is create the ability, like in Second Life, to have a multi-option dialog box with the ability in VR or desktop mode to press the buttons. But because it takes them time, this is not a complaint about Linden Lab, because it takes them time, I am seriously contemplating doing this ugly, awful thing because it will make everybody else's experiences, more interactive.
And in that
they
sense,
need to enable us to create these technologies better.
And in that sense, Sansar is Second Life 2.0 because Galen is already operating like everybody did in Second Life. Like, okay, I got to do it on my own.
I know. Yeah. And I wish we had I hope in the future we also have the capabilities to create our own overlays when it comes to that. So when people are in VR,
that's important.
That we can create an overlay that triggers whatever it is that we want them to do, so people don't have to get out of their headsets and they can stay immersed. Because it's terrible that I've got to get out of my headset. I've got to go into 2D, copy a URL, put it in the chat, go back into VR. That's cumbersome.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate here too on behalf of...
But they're new. I mean, they'll get it.
Right. In my opinion, and I've been sort of preaching this all along, I
Keep
really
watching
think
the elevator.
That Linden, that Linden Lab is doing this the right way.
Yes.
And here's what I mean. They have chosen to focus on the beautiful. And I think that's a good strategic choice because that's what's everybody, when everybody talks to Sansar, they say, it's a pretty picture. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
That was a conscious choice and it was a good choice.
Yeah.
But
I don't
not for
disagree.
much
But
longer.
again, I mean, if we're looking at this sort of like, baseball, like prediction or whatnot, you could, I mean, it is a matter of setting of priorities, right? It's
it
a
is.
resource game and priorities
I
game.
think they're changing.
Obviously, as we had discussed, High Fidelity has set different priorities. Actually, like I know the people know because of my upcoming documentary, we visited High Fidelity now it's 3 weeks ago.
I need to go back.
And we're going back there too to film. And Philip said in that conversation that they chose to do other stuff first because to make the visuals look good, that's an easy part and that comes later. So I cannot evaluate
Debatable.
that, right?
Yeah,
I'm not an expert in that, but he basically, I said, Philip, what made you sort of go about this? And he said, well, I have a much smaller staff than Linden Lab, and we figured let's do this. And the pugs, as we all know, Björn Linden said when we asked him how about the pugs, he said, well, there's like 5 people who have the pugs, so we're not going to spend any time implementing the pugs. Now, High Fidelity has the pugs, exactly. Yeah. So this is a fascinating quote unquote battle that we're watching, sort of standing
different
on the
business models,
standing on the rooftop of a cyberpunk city while we could be in a very cozy suburban village on 114 Harvest. But I guess everybody has different priorities. But if you want to move in at the price of $500 per month,
shameless plug.
Well, it's an
shameless.
It's really funny.
So before you go, you know what I do have to say I love most about High Fidelity is the ability to pull up like this selfie stick, right? And I can put but I can put any video on there, any picture on there. I can show my friends. I mean, it's like I have a movie theater at my fingertips anywhere I go, and that
feature-wise, High Fidelity has us trounced.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing.
High Fidelity is better, but for creators, it's a disaster.
Will it make people stick?
It is a disaster.
The selfie camera is awesome. I'm glad that you mentioned it. But the question again is, is this a gimmick that will make people stick? I mean, I think the camera,
Well, no, it's not just the selfie stick though. But I mean, I can pull up a square, anything, right? And then I can set it to media, and I can throw a video on there. I can go into my Facebook page. I can do anything that I want inside High Fidelity on a square.
This is arguably
pretty
temporary.
Awesome.
Right. The lead, I would argue that the lead that Hi-Fi has right now is temporary. They could continue. They could race out way ahead of Sansar.
They're going to have to make it look beautiful like this.
Yes. And
that's what drives me crazy.
They don't have the good engine.
If they can solve the problem of getting people paid, which I think they can with the direction, but more importantly, if they can solve the problem if they can solve the problem of protecting IP rights, which I think they cannot, then they could beat Sansar. I think so many. I wrote this in one of my comments recently. I think the reason you see so many professionals here, people who are literally making their livelihoods here, or at least a supplemental income. The reason there's so many
already a currency, exactly, and that was a smart move, frankly, that they implemented there, right? That's what we're going to say. It's huge.
People are making a living in here on the marketplace. I'm like, what?
I'm saying people who are making a living.
I sold one
in Second Life
for myself.
People who are making money, making a living or a partial living in Second Life or in gaming or whatever, they're coming here. They're not going to High Fidelity as much.
Well, because I mean, look at this. I built this for Second Life, and I brought this in, but that is a part of it too.
It is a part of it. But
that absolutely is.
I'm convinced that the real reason that they're coming here is because they believe, right or wrong, they believe that Linden Lab is serious about protecting their IP rights. And they
that's exactly why. That's why I've got models that are only here, because I feel like it's the safest place for them.
Well, and you know what? I don't know. We've had this conversation for a year, so I don't know where Sansar is right now and how they've changed stuff. I need to go look at everything, and I don't know how they're actually protecting everything. Although
Hi-Fi, they're not.
No, not Hi-Fi. Sansar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I'll say that they haven't finished the job yet, and
I was going to say,
there's some leaks in this boat, but
because from a creator standpoint, I've been here for a year, and I've had those hard conversations with Linden Labs, and that's why my stuff isn't in the marketplace. Because
part of my confidence in this distinction is, as a programmer, I know how this stuff works, and I know that Philip Rosedale, or at least I believe that he's committed to the idea that he's making a 3D web browser, and by web browser I mean business model. He does not want to own it. He wants to get it out there. Not really. He wants to get it out there, and he wants that, I think, to be his legacy, and it would be a smart legacy too. But I don't think that he's committed to the idea of making a bunch of people who are going to give him money rich, which is good and bad. The bad thing about that is you can't have a big team, right? You can't build it out fast.
Galen is telling the truth. I agree with you.
He's counting on everybody coming in and contributing all the missing pieces.
Yes, and that is such a big gamble, because people have already been sort of solicited to come in. Everybody of us knows at least one person. I know quite a few, and they politely declined because of primarily the issue of content protection. And you put your finger right on it. I also believe, the way I know Philip, that he and more power to him, that this is what he does want to create, that he wants to create, just like in Ready Player One, the infrastructure of the metaverse, the roads and all that, and the rest is somewhat secondary.
Let me also add one last
thing. That's exactly what he wants to do.
But people need to make a living. If the promise is, look, you're engaging, and again, I mean, I'm going to go on my political thing where I think the whole neoliberal libertarian baloney is just very disingenuous. and a lie to the individual, which in Sansa there's a big, in my mind, also a problem with the Turbo Squid thing, and so on and so forth. We should do an extra show on that. Where was I? I don't know where I'm going. I know where.
No.
Let me say one last little thing on that, though, too.
Right.
Yeah.
What I want to say is, I think, if anything, hopefully he knows this by now, but Philip Rosedale has already secured his place in history. He's already...
Yes, he has.
I think when people look back, at least for the next few decades, at least, when they look back and they see virtual reality, even though it's not literally true, they're going to see Second Life as the beginning of all of that.
You know what?
that is what
these books talk about Second Life as the first virtual worlds. Wow. All these books that have, like Ready Player One, the first chapter, I listened to the book actually on a 10-hour drive to Illinois or to Indiana, and the first chapter, I'm like, wait a minute, I know that place. I'm in that place. I build in that place. I sell in that place. I live in that place.
Yes.
And then they're talking about the next generation of it, right? Which is in the year 2024, like this. When I went to Dark Forest, I saw Ready Player One. I saw the future, all the movement. It was alive. And that's why I'm back. It was alive. Yeah. Everything was moving. It was like I didn't want to leave.
And let's give Rosedale credit, guys. Even if he wasn't the first, he really pioneered the first that really stuck.
He did. He really did.
You're absolutely right. Let's build. We need to build a church to Philip. I gotta go. Yes. You guys can continue this conversation.
I'll build it up there.
I'm in Germany.
And then he can come
Sleep
visit.
well, Drax. Sleep well. Or whatever you have to do.
It's my stream. It's my.
Bye, Drax.
What are you saying?
Bye, Drax.
Hey, where's my ban button for the sim? Boot him out, kick him out, make him go to bed.
No. Everybody who gets banned is coming out on Harvest in the basement.
Send him to the basement.
Send him to the basement.
I'm putting a link on.
I'm gonna send all the crazies to you.
I'm putting a link on the YouTube stream. Just occurred to me there's a science fiction novel of a really well-known German author. He wrote one international well-known book, The Swarm, but this is this book is called Limit. It's well-known in Germany, but internationally it's not that well-known. And there is actually Second Life plays a part in it. I remembered it now. And the funny thing is, it plays in the future where there's basically a direct elevator to the moon. So it's a really cool book. It's like a really fast-paced thriller.
Do I have to create an elevator to the moon now?
I think so, because that also reminds me of your city, which is really kind of like in the book. And so, but get this, the funny thing is, so I'm reading this book and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then so there's this other plot about this detective who is researching in a virtual world, and the virtual world is called Second Life. And there are other virtual worlds, but if I remember correctly in the book, the hilarious thing was, the way he sets it up, he says Second Life was a popular world, but then it got sort of like stagnant, but other people built onto Second Life, and it's not on the map, and it's kind of hidden, and that's where all the drug deals happen. So this is where it plays the book. So basically, the detective at one point in the story, in order to meet this informant, he has to log into Second Life and then go to like dark corners of Second Life to make those deals. It's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, that's such a great.
Caprica has its own version of Second Line. Yeah.
Second Life.
Oh, I forgot about that show.
Caprica.
They really played up Second Life as a well, you look like yourself in this fully immersive VR world, but the sex rooms and the flight clubs and all this stuff, they really harken back to Second Life culture brilliantly.
Awesome.
Caprica. Nice. It's a follow-on to the Battlestar Galactica. It's a spin-off. The idea is going back before the Battlestar Galactica era.
Well, we put all this on. We'll put it all on the blog. Okay, I'm teleporting home, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a lovely evening, Drax.
On my couch, in my
in your basement.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh, that was great. I'm rudely interrupting and stopping the stream. Thanks for watching. That was a very kind of very illuminating discussion. Oh, here's Michelle on the stream. Try the blue pill. Yeah, Michelle, we were talking on the podcast about all these other worlds. And yeah, there's a bunch of them out there. The podcast is coming tomorrow, 10 a.m. So that's a discussion also. Galen took place in it. I'm gonna go downstairs. So thanks for watching, guys. This was great. And I'm exhausted. Still a lot of it's time for Drax Brew. A little bit of whiskey, I guess, and a bunch of old fluffy episodes. That's how we're gonna end it. Alright. Thanks for watching, and have a great